Good afternoon and welcome. We are right here again this wonderful Sunday afternoon with my friend Cherian, and we have been having a conversation on numero uno in the person of me, myself, and I. And this afternoon, we wanted to continue that conversation with each other and with you. So we'd love for you to weigh in on this conversation as we talk about ourselves. At times when we are trying to dodge the focus, dodge dealing with some personal issues, dealing with some hangups, dealing with me, we tend to shine the spotlight on the next person and the next person and the next person. Do you find that is so, Cherian?
Yes, we often like to reflect.
Yes, indeed. This afternoon, we're not deflecting. We are facing ourselves in straight up in the mirror and say, listen up, girl. It's time to get down to some business concerning you. Having a meeting, if I may say, with you. Like just earlier in this week, I was having a conversation with my husband, Cherian, and I was asking, or the latter part of last week, it's like, don't you have meetings with yourself? Like, come here, young man, have a seat. We need to have a meeting and have a meeting with yourself. Like, hold yourself
Yes.
accountable and have a meeting with
Like,
yourself.
it is very
Yes, so
important.
indeed it is. So we wanted to look this afternoon at acceptance, acceptance of who you are currently, and acceptance of where you are currently, acceptance of what were the things, the choices, the decisions, the moves we made that has landed us where we are currently. Acceptance. When you hear that word, Cherian, what comes to mind? And weigh in, go ahead on the conversation.
To me, acceptance it has to do with acknowledging, remember that word?
Yes.
Acknowledging where we are, but also taking it in. I
Mm,
think of accepting when you receive a gift, you have to take it into yourself. And
yes.
if we're going to accept where we are, we have to take in our current circumstances, the
Yeah.
choices, decisions that we've made, and the consequences as a result of those. So acceptance is taken in.
It's interesting that you share that, Cherian. I was listening to a podcast this week, and the interviewee, was sharing that as she went through a period of her life where she was, just low energy, depressed, downcasted because of some hard times that one of her daughter was going through. And she was fearful of what would happen. She was like some and she was fighting it, fighting it, fighting it. She said things shifted the moment she decided that she just what you said there, that she was going to take it in. And so she said what she started doing was to play a game with herself. Like
Wow.
she would sit down and she would see fear and she would just grab it and hold it and pull it in to hug it. And she said the moment she did that, it just evaporated. She said it didn't
Yes.
go completely one time because the fear would come back and it would come back. But each time it come back, it was weaker. It was weaker,
Mm.
weaker until she was out of it. But it is, and when you said acknowledge, and then you said acceptance, the moment you said there, Cherian, acceptance is like taking it in as like, yep, it's the next level to acknowledge. Acknowledges
Yeah.
that yes, I acknowledge I received the gift, but then when you like take it, like, how did you know? Like, this is exactly
Thank
what I wanted.
you.
You take it in. Like, wow.
Yes.
Mm, mm. How important would you say the acceptance, like when you consider in your own life experiences accepting who you are, like at that current stage, and the current stage we could even reflect on a current stage that we was at before we are able to get to a down the road destination,
Yes.
like that place. What was that like for you, like accepting where you are at, who you are at, and some of the choices that contributed to?
At first, it was scary because I realized that if I was going to accept me, everything about me, that means that I was going to have to accept the things that were less than pleasant, less than comely, and that I was going to have to acknowledge the consequences of my mistakes. I was going
Yeah.
to have to accept those consequences and accept that I am the one responsible for those
Mm,
consequences. And
mm.
to me, that seemed like a very big load that I did not want to carry.
Ah.
But I was willing to do it because I felt as if I was not meeting a part of myself.
Mm.
I don't even know how to explain. Like there was a part of me that was waiting to be introduced to Cherry
Whoa.
to Cherry Ann. And I could not do that
Whoa.
without accepting
Yes.
everything.
Yes, yes, yes. Guys, do you hear that? There was a part of her like was just waiting. It's kind of like an eager child, like wait, like when, okay, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Hmm. That is powerful. Mm.
Yes.
What would have contributed to you not accepting sooner than you did?
Whew. So many things, but the first thing that came to mind was insecurity. I
Mm.
was very insecure. I I still have to tell insecurity, you hold on dear. Nowadays, I still have to do that.
Oh, wow.
But the level and the depth at which I was insecure led me to be a
Mhm,
jealous person, led me to be fearful, led me into selfishness, led me
mhm.
into bad mind, all sorts of
Wow.
different.
Yeah,
It's like
negative.
one door opened and all of them came in together. Yes. And
Ah.
the biggest cause of that was me being insecure about Cherian.
Mm.
Yeah.
So how does it feel now? I mean, you, and thank you for being so transparent. Like you literally said, it's not something that you have overcome. Yes, it's like it's still a work in progress. You still have to
It
say
still is.
insecurity
Yeah.
at times. You sit down over there. But to this point, like the work that you would have done on you, with you, and to this point where you're at, even to sit here on this show, which goes live on the social media, some work went into it. How do you feel now, like where you're at when you look and you sometimes you just pause and you reflect, like, wow, I used to be like that, like how does it feel now, where yeah.
Um, whew. I am proud of myself. I'm happy. I am also very cautious still, in that I'm even though I'm celebrating myself and
Mhm.
celebrating the accomplishments made, I am
Yes.
still very much like, you don't reach nowhere yet. Not trying to
Oh.
kill my
Mhm,
energy or
mhm,
kill my drive
mhm,
or anything like that, but just to remind myself that the woman that you envision yourself to be, the
mhm.
woman that you believe God is calling you to be, you don't reach
Ah,
there yet.
okay.
You still
And
have
don't want
so much
yourself
to
to
go.
get, yeah, and don't want yourself to get too comfortable.
Exactly.
Mm,
Because I'm a person, if I accomplish something, I want to sit down and ah, relax and rest.
mm,
But there's still
mm.
more work to be done.
Yeah, yeah. It's still a journey. It's not, you haven't reached the destination
Yeah,
yet. Mm,
exactly.
mm, mm. I don't know where you are who's tuning in, but can you walk away with that nugget right there? I encourage you, we encourage you to take that and walk away with it. Like,
Yes.
don't get too comfortable. Yes, you would have had a win, and the win is key. Even as you said it, dear Cherry, and yes, you rejoice and celebrate the win, but don't sit there thinking, I have arrived. The destination is not yet. You haven't reached a destination yet. So stay the journey, because you want to stretch yourself so far that everything you came to earth to deliver comes out and you die empty.
Yes.
Mm.
As you were speaking there, Mr. All I heard was maximum potential.
Wow.
Maximum potential. So stretching
Wow.
to the maximum potential.
Yes, indeed. We're going to hit the pause button just for a moment, and we want to share with you a journal from myself and a book first publication from Lady Cherian. Okay, that's the book from Cherian, and the name of it is Cherian.
Hypocrisy.
Yes, and you can pick up your very own copy at where can they?
Amazon. On
Okay,
Amazon.
awesome, awesome, awesome. And we're gonna go ahead and share the promo with my I am loved and affirmed gratitude journal. Thank you. So, acceptance. Why would you say is it so important that we accept at the point where we at, who we're at, and the decisions that led us to where we're at? Why would you say? For me, Cherian, I would go at it first. For me, I would say that it's very similar to your car's GPS, or if the vehicle don't have GPS, the phone, and you put it on.
Yeah.
Before you can get the roadmap to the destination that you desire, to that ideal self, to the best version of you, you have to first identify where you're
Yeah.
at. For the GPS system, it automatically picks up your current location, but it won't be able to give you a roadmap to successfully reaching at the destination you desire without clocking and recording the where you're at. Mm. So, in
Yeah.
other words, I
Ah.
would say,
Ooh.
right? Yeah. So, in other words, I would say that we ain't going nowhere. There is no destination. Let's say you want to catch your flight. There is no catching of that flight if you don't put in. If where I'm at is not clocked in, there's no roadmap you're going to get to that airport to catch that flight.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. I hear you earlier. Please go ahead. Feel free to wait.
Because that is an amazing analogy. That's an amazing analogy. it's like you know it, but when you explained it a little while ago, it
Yeah.
became even more clear. Just became clearer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
For
you said some,
me, it's yeah. Go. Sorry, I was so
yeah, not,
excited. What were you
yeah, go
saying?
ahead. Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh, for me, I was going to say that it's about truth. I
Yeah.
know, you know, we as believers, we know the verse, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. If you don't accept it, you're living in denial. Denial is part of deception.
Mhm.
How can you be free? And that's
Mm,
what acceptance, the reason why we should follow through with acceptance comes to mind.
mm, mm. Wow. Ah, so we're not going anywhere.
Nowhere.
You're wonderful. You wonderful soul who is watching. It may sound harsh, but it is a vital reality. You, I, Cherian, we're not going anywhere if we don't first identify where am I at. So you want to become the best version of yourself and be all that you could be, the fullest version of yourself, that's a destination. And we first have to clock where we're at. Now, Cherian, you said something very important when you were speaking earlier. And what you alluded to was how it was hard when you had to face the insecurities that would have landed you where you're at. Hmm. You know, there are times I find recently that as I am working on me, that it automatically brings up like the old Michelles that would have
Okay.
passed. As I'm acknowledging where I'm at, it's bringing up the old Michelles. And I just have to sit, accept it because, yes, that Michelle did exist. That Michelle did reign for a while. And that one too, that one did reign for a while. Who was loud, who was that one over there that just did right back at you with a word when you feel that you needed to tell me something. I'm right back at you with it. Those Michelles did exist. And it's kind of like not kind of like, I would had to, as I'm working on me in the present, as they come up, it's like I had to acknowledge and accept, yes, that was me. And I have no desire for that Michelle to return to the throne and that one to return to the throne. No, because we're working
Yes.
something, we're going somewhere, we have a destination, and that Michelle
Yeah.
no longer serves. That
Not for this
does
destination.
does not serve me reaching to the destination. Like, wow. Hmm,
Yes. That's
amazing.
you.
So the question I would like to ask for you guys who are watching, what version of you are currently, like who are you today, where are you today, what are the decisions that you have made then that have landed you where you're at. Are you at this point in your life willing to accept that person, willing to accept that location in order to get to where you want to go? Are you willing? That is definitely a must, but it's not forced. God is not forcing it on you. And hopefully, there's nobody in your life that's forcing it on you because it
We
has
hope
to
not.
be yes, it has to be a decision you make. Wouldn't you say that, Cherian?
Yes, it's very personal. And I
Mm,
think that's just going to That will be the key to it being sustained. How much do you want it?
Mm, mm. Wow. I love that what you mentioned there just now. That's the key to it being sustained. The question is how much, like, how bad do you want this?
Yes.
Ah, mm, I love it. This, as we're talking, it just makes me feel just so reflective. Like it feels rich as we're conversating and I'm reflecting. Like, where you been, Michelle, where you are now. Two different individual. I love the
Yes.
Michelle, the progress that's taking place. And we desire that for you as well. The
Yes.
progress that's taking place, the growing, the stretching to become all, to become all, to become all, to become all. Cherian,
Yes.
as we're looking to wind up our conversation, what what would you like to share with persons concerning this acceptance and just owning the you who you are currently, where you are currently, and what have led to you being where you are currently?
Yes. As you were asking the question, the thought came to me, and I know it came to my spirit. How much, how much of everything, how much of that vision, that life, that you saw, do you want to
Mm,
become? And maybe some of us don't even have a vision of ourselves. We don't know
mm,
where we're going or what we want. We don't have an idea or a knowledge from God. But you can find out if you can
yes,
sit and, as Michelle was saying, be reflective.
yes,
Who do you want to be? Because you could say you want to go to the, as with the analogy of the GPS, you want to go to the ice cream shop down the road.
yes,
That's where
yes.
you want to be. But you have to know where you are now to log in and clock.
Mhm,
So you find out where to go. What's the best
mhm.
route? Who do you
Yes,
want to be? And
yes,
for me, that is key as well to accepting. Because if you know
mm,
you want to be this person, or you have this
yes,
person or this vision in
yes,
mind, then you have to accept who you are now.
yes,
You have to.
yes, yes. And
Don't be
as
afraid.
you just, yes, go ahead, please. My apology.
Yeah, I was just saying, don't be afraid to do it, because a lot of fears often surrounds that.
True. Mhm. True. Because, and truth be told, as you mentioned, they don't be afraid. Is sometimes the accepting of the what led to you being here, the choices, the decisions, they're not the prettiest. The
No.
experiences that accompany those choices is not the prettiest. And sometimes it brings up some emotions that cause you to break down, cause you to holler and bawl, cause you to
Mm,
retreat and isolate
yeah,
yourself from others. It's real. Like it
it
is
is.
real for real. Mm, mm, wow. But it's also worth it.
Yes.
Can we tell
Yes.
you it's also worth it? And we're not
It,
speaking as those who have arrived, but this is it. It is destinations along the journey towards the destination.
yes.
And as I shared that, it's pretty much simple, similar, Cherian, to Jesus. As I would have mentioned before, every eye he opened was a destination closer to the destination.
Oh,
Every
yes.
dumb, every mute that he unlocked their tongue, a destination along the journey to the destination. Mm. And all of them led to, because he was doing what he see his father did. Cherian
Yes.
said something. You said something there just now, Cherian, that if you don't know, it's like that's no excuse. Like it is so important that you face you.
That
Where
is
are
it.
you at? Yeah. Where are you at? What has led you to be here? Hmm. We first decide, yes, where we want to go. But before we step out the first step, we need to decide where we're at,
Right here.
where
Yes.
we're at right here. And it takes courage, yes, because of those fears that would come. And I'm so grateful that you mentioned that, Cherian. It takes courage. And because of those fear that will show up, fearful of what will it be like? Because it's literally like you're reliving the events, you're reliving the moment of what would have
What?
taken place, the decisions that you made in order for you
Yes.
to be here where you're at. And the reliving of it can be really painful at times.
Oh, yes.
But we're telling you, we're reminding you again, it is also worth it. That's one. Two, this, your family, this earth is worth you becoming the absolute best that you could ever be. That's the destination. You are worth that. So,
Yes.
can we encourage you this morning to choose no longer to settle and live under the radar, but make a decision today, this day that you are sure of, because you're right here, you're right now. Make a decision that if
Yeah.
God blesses you to have other days on this earth, make a decision that I'm going to become the fullest version of myself. And two,
Yes.
I'm going to do whatever it takes. So if it means I have to face me right here, right now, I'm going to do it. Okay. We are going to wrap up this session with you. And it was such a delight being here, Cherry. And I love this conversation. It is just so
Me
grounding.
too. Me too.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah. So leveling. I love it. Love it. Just before we skedaddle on out of here, we want to share with you the promo again for both our books. Take a look. Yes. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Be sure to go and pick up your copy of the I Am Loved and Affirmed Gratitude Journal and Shiftocracy. I think the
Yeah.
name alone should intrigue you and want to Shiftocracy. What is
It
that about?
is. It is a thought provoker.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to come to that. We're going to share some of what the contents, the juiciness, the sweetness that's within the pages to help you to definitely make that quick decision, that pertinent decision to go and pick up your copy. We want to say we love you until we meet and see each other again real soon. Take care. God bless you and au revoir.
Au revoir.